That's a man.
Peyton Manning stepping out.
It's the Zion Show.
Pass is caught by Joe. Usually, using wrestling parlance, you could say this might be a loser leave town match as the SEC West race is heating up and two contenders go at it today in our Jefferson Pilot Game of the Week as Auburn travels to Oxford to meet the Ole Miss Rebels in one of those classic Southeastern Conference showdowns, and it's coming your way in a matter of moments. And hello again, everybody. I'm Dave Neal alongside my partner, Mr. Dave Rowe. And Dave, you could say these two clubs are coming off weekends that were completely different. Auburn demolishes LSU, and well, Ole Miss struggled against Arkansas, losing by 20. But let's start with Auburn and their defense last week. They put the clamps on the Tigers in a big way, and it starts at the linebackers.
Oh, it does, Dave. The strength of this defense is the linebackers, number 1, 2, and 3 tacklers. Carlos Dansby, big plays, speed, strength. Mark Brown, hard-nosed, throwback to the old days. And then Dontarius Thomas, he's got speed, range, and a nose for the football. Plays great.
They were excellent last week. As a matter of fact, the last 6 quarters, they've only given up 14 points, have the Auburn Tiger defense. Now, Ole Miss, they're struggling running the football. That has been a problem for them the last month. That means that Eli Manning is going to have to bear a lot more of the pressure again today.
But when you have no running game, you have got to throw it. As evidenced last week, 56 throws, 42 completions, 400 yards. But the big question, Dave, is can you throw it 40 times a game and stay healthy? He's got a big target on his chest today.
We shall see what Eli Manning has in store today. 56 passes last week. David Cutcliffe will roam those sidelines today, and his counterpart Tommy Tuberville on the other side. Cutcliffe 28-16 in his 4th year as the head coach, replacing Tommy Tuberville. Ole Miss won the toss. They deferred, so Auburn will kick off. Lee Rogers will put his foot to leather in a matter of moments. Trey Smith and Dee Durham back to return the kick, and it bounces off Trey Smith's hand. They'll cover it up in the end zone, and Auburn will take over at the 20. Well, certainly Auburn lost a big part of their offense when Cadillac Williams went down, but Buzz, it hadn't been so bad, has it?
No, it really hadn't, Dave. You hear coaches say it all the time. Some people say it's a cliche, but when one guy goes down, the next guy's got to step up. Cadillac Williams meant so much to the Auburn offense. Look at that, 106 yards and 8 points, almost 9 points a contest. But what's Ronnie Brown done since he's gotten into the lineup? He's made the most of his chances, and he has been just about unstoppable. 6.5 yards per carry and 4 TDs in the last 2 games, Dave.
And you can add 1 receiving to that, so 5 total. But play action, and Campbell unloads just before he gets taken down at the 1. Intended receiver was a tight end, Robert Johnson. The pressure came from Josh Cooper.
And they were going to reverse out on this play and run to the weak side. And Josh Cooper just made a great play. Backside containment. Little play fake, come across there. And look at Josh Cooper. He was fortunate he got that football away, was Jason Campbell.
Crowd wanted grounding, but Robert Johnson was right there about a foot from the football. So instead, it's just 2nd down and 10. That would have been a big, big loss. Crowd into it early in Oxford. Here's Ronnie Brown. He'll pick up 4. That'll bring up 3rd down. Well, let's take a look at our Chevy starting lineups, beginning with the Auburn offensive group. And Ronnie Brown, as we mentioned, back there at tailback. We'll see the freshman, the true freshman, Trey Smith, as well. Devin Aromashadu, is the true freshman wideout, has been very big as well. This offensive line been a little bit nicked up throughout the season, but playing pretty well. Last week had perhaps their best game of the season. There is Tommy Tuberville, the former Ole Miss head football coach, now roaming the sidelines of Auburn. 3rd down and 6. Pressure coming, and down goes Campbell at the 15. Eddie Strong.
Well, great pressure on this play. You're going to see Justin Wade, number 51, and Eddie Strong on a double blitz. And he just crushed the pocket. They had to get pressure, and Dave, they did on that down.
The Ole Miss defense, as you see their sack totals moments ago, have really improved in that department. Just a dozen a year ago. Back to punt, Damon Duval, one of the best in the country. It's a low kick that will bounce at midfield and go out of bounds at the 45, and Ole Miss will have a relatively short field for their first possession of the football game, a 40-yard kick by Duval. Well, let's take a look at our Chevy starting lineup for the Ole Miss offensive group. Bill Flowers is playing with a separated shoulder, but had a huge game last week with 11 catches. Up front, Trey Stallings, the true freshman tackle, guards the backside of Eli Manning. He'll be tested today big time by that front four of Auburn. Last week, Eli Manning was just put on a clinic on how to play quarterback. You see that only 14 incompletions in 56 attempts, 414 yards, the second most in school history. But they had to play catch-up. Don't want to do it today, that's for sure. Manning's first pass, looking for Bill Flowers, but it goes incomplete. Second down and 10. Manning gets the pass off, gets a couple on the play. That went to Rick Rosano, the fullback. Travaris Robinson on the tackle. That'll bring up third down and I'd give him 7.5.
And Dave, it's going to be interesting to watch Ole Miss and their offensive philosophy. They cannot afford to have Eli Manning get hit. They're going to use a little bit of roll action, little short passes, try to hold when they get that opportunity to go deep.
This is what John Latina, the offensive coordinator for Ole Miss, wanted to avoid, these third and longs, and he's facing one right out of the gate at 3rd and 7. 4 wide receivers in the game. Pressure coming, and Dansby, the big play man, with another one, and a flag comes down at the 42 as well. We'll wait on the flag. Official today, our referee, is Terry Brown, and he will speak with us in a matter of moments. Oh, huge. Now, if that's a 5-yard face, that'll still be well shy of the first down, but if it's that'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, that was just in the tackling of it. When you see Dansby come from the outside from left of your screen, number 11, you'll see him wrap him up here, and the hand goes across the face mask. Again, top of your screen. Dansby is just such a force. He rushes inside. You see him get the hand right away there and took it right back off, but that's the inadvertent 5-yard penalty.
Well, they'll get another crack at third down. Only need 2 yards. Quick throw to Flowers. It's caught. That'll be a first down inside Auburn territory. Run out of bounds at the 42 of Auburn. Travaris Robinson, the defender on the play for Auburn.
Well, this is just almost like an extended handoff. Look how quick the ball is thrown outside. That's the way you avoid pressure if you're a quarterback and then you have no running game.
Boy, Dansby, though, really making his presence felt there. Nearly picked up his 5th sack of the season. Instead, the face mask gives Ole Miss an opportunity to keep the drive alive. Delayed handoff. That goes to Torrance Sanford. Torrance been banged out most of this season. Coaches really were hoping to get him more involved today. Toward a fullback by nature, but played a little tailback in high school, and said we might even see him in that role today. Ole Miss's running attack has been abysmal for 2 weeks, Dave. 40 yards in the last 2 games, 53 attempts. That boils down to a .75 yard per rush average.
That's terrible. You can't do that. But they picked up 5 yards on that first down. That's a good play.
Yeah. Please.
Manning to throw again. Incomplete at the 33-yard line. Intended receiver was Mike Espy. You can see what Ole Miss is starting to do, Dave. A lot of what Florida did against Auburn a few weeks ago in the first half when Rex Grossman did a lot of these short 4 to 6 yard patterns, a lot of out patterns, and just move the football down the field that way.
Yeah, just picking them apart. What the defense gives you, if they give you that 4 or 5 yard pattern. Also, your offensive linemen don't have to block that long.
Third down and 5. 4 wideouts. Press coverage on the corners from Auburn. Trey Stallings, a left tackle, may have moved a little bit play clock was down to 2. And that'll be make it a 3rd down and 10 situation. So Ole Miss will change formations and change sets. Get Terry Brown's mic working.
Yeah.
Come on, Terry.
Speak up. Well, a lot of concern this week on David Cutcliffe's team. They have got to be able to move the football on 1st down.
Third down and 10. Little play action. Manning over the middle. Had his receiver open. Trey Freifogel snuck behind the linebackers underneath the secondary, and Eli just missed him.
He did. Right crossing pattern coming right to left. Look at him. He's wide open right there. Oh, man. If you're Eli Manning, you want this one back. If you can see it on Manning, just let the ball float on him. Deliver that ball. Step forward. Throw that thing on a rope. And look at, you can see Eli Manning. You see the emotion? He knows that's one he's got to have.
Cody Ridgway punts it away. Fair catch called by Marcel Willis at the 9-yard line. A 33-yard punt. So Auburn backed up with their 2nd possession coming. We're scoreless in Oxford. It's our JP SEC game of the week. Eli Manning trying to ask somebody if he could have that throwback.
Yes, absolutely. That was a perfect pass. He had him.
But the good news, though, if you're an Ole Miss fan, is you've backed up Auburn inside the 10. Auburn's offense, false start coming up that left tackle. Terry Brown will probably tell us that left tackle Mark Parra moved a little bit. Well, we didn't have a chance to show you that Ole Miss defense the first time around because they were off the field so quick. But Jesse Mitchell's been playing extremely well up front. Eddie Strong, I need a big game for him. Only 20 tackles this season. He did miss, but for the most part, the first 4 games of the season. Ronnie Brown. Ronnie Brown shows us he's got some good speed. Gets outside. Got 2 yards shy of the 1st down. Gain of 13.
And David, speed to the hole with Ronnie Brown. He gets there so quickly. Watch this. When he gets the football, watch how quickly he's going to get to the hole, out to the outside there. Watch this, just jumps through, and now you're just in the foot race trying to catch him from the back.
So 2nd down and short. Handoff goes to Brown again. He gets the corner one more time. Brown out to the 30-yard line. Good, strong running by Ronnie Brown.
Boy, great block on the corner. Mark Parra, number 69. He drives Josh Cooper off. That's what allows him to get to the outside. Again, look right there, 69. See him just driving him off the line? Gosh, he's 3-4 yards off the line. And what about Ronnie Brown? They talk about tough finishers. He runs over you.
Auburn's offensive line, well, they were just flat out awesome last week against a good defensive front of LSU. Flag comes down at about the 26-yard line as Brown picks up maybe a half yard. Justin Wade on the tackle for the Rebels. Ball start against the Auburn Tigers. Terry Brown's mic is down, obviously, so that'll leave us to be in charge of determining what the calls are. And good thing Dave Rose up here. When the Jefferson Pilot Sports Crew is on the road covering SEC football, we like to eat at Huddle House and always enjoy their big house breakfast and lunch platters. 1st and 15 again for Auburn. Pass is caught on the far side of Marcel Willis. Gains 5 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Jason Campbell last week, Dave, just good game management. Only threw the ball 11 times, but really did some things to, as you said when we talked to Coach Tuberville, didn't hurt the football team in one aspect of the game.
Well, they got so many points off of turnovers. They got great field position, and he played to win.
He took over for that man, Daniel Cobb, who has really been helpful in terms of getting Jason ready for these games. No gain for Ronnie Brown, and you saw Ronnie slip. That is a bad, bad piece of land over there between the 20 and the 40 on the far side of the field.
Yeah, trying to change direction is going to be tough because, again, it's worn down. It's just dirt over there, and you can't get those cleats in there.
Let's check in with Buzz.
The Ole Miss folks say it appears that something has gotten into the root system, and from the last time we were here, it is spread. And those places where it looks bare, it's been painted, and there is nothing there for guys to get any traction right in this part of the field that Auburn's operating from.
Yeah, well, Buzz, they are right in the heart of that dirt, if you will. On 3rd down and 10, Campbell has time, fires, nearly picked off, looking for Willis. And it looked as though Marcel Willis might have fell down in his route. Wes Scott nearly had the INT.
Boy, Scott read the eyes of the quarterback well. He just steps right in front of the receiver, Wes Scott. Watch this again. You look at the quarterback's eyes. You're coming from center field, and he had the football. Good shot there on Willis. He tripped, and again, he's in that barren area of land.
Well, the Ole Miss defense has had 2 pretty good stops. Duval has to punt. This is a good high kick. Armstead will call for the fair catch at the 30-yard line. We are scoreless with 8:21 to go. Stay with us, folks. More coming your way after this word from your local stations. We are back on a cool afternoon in Oxford, Mississippi. Temperatures probably not even reached 50 yet. They said it would be about 53 today, but somebody was out last night that made that decision. Got a little bit late. Handoff goes to Deshaun Pearson, the freshman. Carlos Dansby makes the tackle, a gain of 4.
This is Mark Brown. He's the leading tackler. Watch Trey Stallings come up and just push him out. Couldn't cut on the backside, cut against it. Mark Brown, he usually plays a lot stronger than that. 4 or 5 yards, 1st down. Hey, that's a great play for Ole Miss.
2nd down and 5 for Ole Miss, and that's the kind of success that Coach Cutcliffe really wanted. He wanted 4 to 6 yards on 1st down all afternoon. Manning going up top. Overshoots his receiver on the far side. That was Jason Armstead, covered by Carlos Rogers. Pizza Hut scoreboard today. How about this one early on? Rutgers and Miami. And it appears that Miami will fall from number 2 in the BCS regardless of what they do against Rutgers today, because Rutgers comes in with 1 win, and if Notre Dame can stay alive, Miami would fall to number 3 in the BCS rankings. Strange scenario.
Yeah.
May not matter if Miami can't turn it around down 7-3. 3rd down. Eli Manning sacked at the 25. Spencer Johnson, who we didn't even think would play today, picks up the sack, a loss of 10.
Well, Spencer Johnson is on that sore ankle and does a great move in there, uses his arms. You see him on the right of your screen, just keeps on forcing his way through and just bursts through into Manning's face. That's what you've got to do. You've got to split tackles as a defensive end.
That's only the 8th sack allowed this season. They allowed 10 last year, the fewest in the SEC. Good kick. Ridgway sends Willis back inside the 20. And Willis doesn't go much further at the 23-yard line. A 57-yard kick, a 4-yard return. Ridgway is 10th in the nation in punting, and you see a little bit of it there. Jason Campbell ready to come out when we come back. We are scoreless. 1st quarter, 6:46 to go. Combined 37 yards of offense to this point. Campbell over the middle, wide open, and dropped by the tight end, Lorenzo Diamond, at the 35-yard line to mishandle him, and Auburn did. Here's Brown. No gain. Justin Wade fills the hole and is the first man on the spot for Ole Miss. Correct myself, they had Arkansas State the following week, but they've been on the road for the last couple of weeks, so this crowd anxious to get their Rebels back on the winning track. Ronnie Brown couldn't make much out of that. Gains a couple. LP Spence with the stop for the Rebels, and Damon Duval will have to come back out for the third time already here in the first quarter and punt the football away.
And Dave, the first thing I will tell you is that I see Ole Miss playing with tremendous spirit. I mean, they are playing enthusiastically. They've been maligned the last couple of weeks.
1,001.
Duval first in the SEC in punting. It's a high kick. Armstead, fair catch at the 32-yard line. And a flag comes down late. That's the fourth Auburn penalty, but first down and 10 now. Ole Miss in good field position. Manning to throw. Flowers into double coverage. And it looks as though Roderick Hood might be a little banged up down there at the 27-yard line. It's our JP game of the week. Auburn and Ole Miss. Dave Neal. Pick a Dave. Rowe and Baker. Glad you could join us on a cool afternoon from Oxford, Mississippi. Manning under pressure, tries to set up the screen. Pass is knocked down. First down marker is at the Auburn 47. Deshaun Pearson runs into his own player. Ran right into Marcus Johnson. Gets 3 or 4 on the play. Little delayed handoff goes to Sanford. Sanford gets to the 40 and stopped right there, and Ole Miss will have to punt it away. Ramel Aegis and DeMarco McNeil on the stop for Auburn.
It is a punting game. Gosh, we've seen Duval, what, 3 times already?
Ridgeway with a nice high spiral. Willis at the 15, a flag goes down. Willis out to the 26-yard line, a 45-yard punt, a 4-yard return, but we'll wait on that flag, which rests at the Auburn 35.
The way the officials reported it initially, they said it was from the end of the run, but they said that was incorrect. They told Tommy Tuberville the penalty went from the end of the kick, not from the end of the run.
They're pinned up again are the Tigers, and Ole Miss is playing the run defense really well. Ronnie Brown. Brown, does he get the corner? He does! Ronnie Brown out to midfield. On his feet inside the 40. What a run from a sophomore out of Cartersville, Georgia. Finally brought down by McKinley Boykin. A gain of 56 yards. High formation. Play fake to the fullback, and here's a little option to Brown. Brown just spins his way. Could have lost a couple, but instead gains a couple. Flags are down, but Brown is shy of the first down by about 3 yards. Inside the 30. It was Josh Cooper, the first man on the spot for Ole Miss, but we'll wait on that flag. As we have said all throughout this first quarter. There's 1:26 to go. Third down and 12. Campbell on the run, fires, passes caught. That'll be an Auburn first down at the 25. Anthony Mix, the 235-pound freshman receiver, with a big catch. Single setback is Trey Smith. Campbell throws, and I think Aroma Shadu probably saw too many blue jerseys and lost focus on that football because he was running right into a herd of them. Second down and 10. And Brown gets maybe a yard. Eddie Strong with another tackle.
Well, this is the Eddie Strong that we're used to seeing. Playing the ball, getting to it, using that great speed and strength that he has.
Auburn 1 of 4 on third down conversions. A lot of talking going on. We'll see how this works for Auburn. Campbell fires. Pass is caught, but well shy of the first down. Marcel Willis caught the pass, and Kelvin Robinson was right on the spot. That'll bring up fourth down, and this is right in that area where Tommy Tuberville might say, what the heck? Bring the offense back on the field. Here we go. Campbell fires, hits his tight end, Robert Johnson, down to the 5. And out of bounds at the 2. Brown stopped short. He'll be about a half a foot to a foot away.
Boy, this is crunch time for if you're a defense. If you're offense, you're just plowing the ball in there. But if you're defense, got to get penetration, hope those backers can stuff them.
Bobby Petrino, the offensive coordinator, had a great plan last week against LSU. 3 tight ends in the game now for Auburn. Johnson's the fullback, Brown the tailback. That's Wallace in motion, it's Brown. And he sneaks in off the left side. Touchdown, Auburn. His 7th rushing touchdown of the season. And Auburn is on the board first.
No surprise on the play. You follow your fullback, Brandon Johnson, number 45. And then you just kind of keep those legs going and let those big offensive linemen drive you into the end zone. Heads up play.
13:28 to go in the second quarter. Dave Neal, Dave Rowe, and Buzz Baker with you. Glad you could join us on a cool, crisp fall afternoon in Oxford, Mississippi. Great day for football. Tommy Tuberville got off the bus today, looked at me and said, now this is football weather.
Oh, I love it. This is my kind of weather.
Damon Duval to kick off. Damon Duval had an excellent game last week against LSU, keeping Dominic Davis from really getting untracked. Here's Armstead, the burner, out over the 25 to the 27-yard line. Good return for Jason Armstead. Eli Manning today just not off to a good start. 2 of 7.
Well, it hasn't been a good quarter for him. He was hurried. He had miscommunications, little short passes. He's trying to get successful. But the big one is that he overthrew. Unbelievable. Just has not had a good quarter. It's not Eli Manning football.
We got to go back. There looks to be, there was a flag thrown offsides against Auburn, but declined by Ole Miss. So the Rebels will take it 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Nothing doing for Torrance Sanford.
And Dave, Ole Miss trying to stay with that running game. You've got to keep them honest. If not, they just load up on you. And that running game could help the passing game because Manning under a lot of pressure in that first quarter.
Robert Williams, number 35 for Ole Miss, is the senior starting tailback that has been hurt with an ankle, now a shoulder. Coaches said it would be a game-time decision whether or not we see him today. We have yet to see him carry the football, so there's still time, but Robert Williams may go today. Manning fires. Pass is incomplete. Big hit. A combination of guys, Carlos Dansby and Carlos Rogers.
And one of the things that Auburn is doing is they're sitting in the short area. In other words, there are a lot of people. You see the number of people in that 5 to 7 yards? 2 white shirts. They're just coming right in there. Good stick. Come in there, tackle the football. So not only are they getting pressure on Manning, they're covering him in that short area.
3rd down and 10 to Zon Pearson. Single setback. Tailback in this formation. 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the near side. Manning, 5-step drop. Pass batted in the air again. Spencer Johnson, who didn't practice all week and didn't play against LSU, has had 2 big plays today with a sack and now a batted down pass.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do is 3 and out. Look at this. Get the hands up. The pocket is collapsing around him. He's trying to hurry his pass, and Spencer Johnson right in his face.
Cody Ridgway to punt for the Rebels. Willis back to return. High kick. Fair catch called for by Willis, and that's the same scenario that happened moments ago when Armstead called for a fair catch, and Auburn folks want a penalty, don't get it. Football fans, register to win $1 million in the Bell South $1 Million Kick Contest. Visit jpsports.com to register and check out the schedule for the Bell Zone E-Zone rolling on to college campuses around the South. Sign up and then start practicing your field goals. The grand prize winner gets a chance to kick for $1 million at the 2002 Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl game on New Year's Eve. Peach Bowl folks are here at the game today. A lot of them starting to see more and more bowl people show up at these ball games as we hit November, the home stretch. What has been a crazy year in the SEC. Here's Ronnie Brown trying to get to the outside, gets 7-8 on the play, and a late flag comes down right in front of the Auburn bench. Eric Oliver made the tackle for Ole Miss.
Maybe a late face mask. But I'll tell you, the only way you make a move like that is you have speed, you get to the outside, because it was blocked at the hole. The face mask.
And it looks like there's going to be a face mask coming.
Let's see if we can perhaps see. That's perfect. There's the call right there. The hand on the face mask. The official from the backside saw it. Again, we may see it this way here. All the hand does is have to get on the face mask. That's Robinson there with the face mask, with the hand up there.
Brown now 12 carries, 99 yards, and penalties. It's a good many for a quarter and a half, not even a quarter and a half. Aroma should do. Trying to get a block, does so, picks up the he steps out of bounds at the 48, so he'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down. Good block. Ronnie Brown put on Von Hutchins.
Well, if you're Ole Miss, you've got to get off those blocks. You've got to shed them. You've got to push off. Use that upper body arm strength. Get rid of the block, move to the ball.
Auburn came in first in the SEC in third down conversion opportunities. And on 2nd and 4, we'll try to avoid a third down. But we'll look at a third down. 3rd and 2 coming up for Auburn. Ronnie Brown gets a couple. Auburn has been very good in third down conversions, but their red zone offense has been a struggle, Dave. They're last in percentage, but they've been in the red zone more than anybody. 43 times this year. Look at that, 102 yards by Ronnie Brown already today. Whew. Diamond and Wallace are your 2 tight ends, and they help create some space for Ronnie Brown. Brown down the sidelines. He will go the distance. A 49-yard scamper that results in 6 for Auburn. And Ronnie Brown now over 150 yards. Still have 11:21 to go in the 2nd quarter.
Well, I talked about shedding blocks. You've got to get off the blocks. Watch Ronnie Brown just turn it on. He went through the hole untouched. Didn't have to break any strides. Just ran through there full speed. So you got to credit those big offensive line up front. Lindsey, Parra, Nowland.
How about Ronnie Brown?
It's a good game. That's not a good half. That's a good game.
Well, it's 14-0. Auburn behind the play of Ronnie Brown, and a solid offensive line lead by 2 touchdowns. Back at Vaught-Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi, the Tigers have scored 2 touchdowns in the second quarter to take a 14-0 lead. Damon Duval set to kick off. What a show Ronnie Brown has put on. Ole Miss needs to get their offense going. They have struggled, to say the least, today. Armstead will take it in the end zone and go to a knee, and Ole Miss will take over at the 20. But Dave, how about Ronnie Brown?
Well, he's been the story, let me tell you. Incredible first half of football, just running with reckless abandon in there. He's got great speed to the hole. He trusts his blockers. He's tough. He follows his blocks. Then when he gets to the outside, he bursts in speed, and then he just follows in there, follows that block of the fullback. And when he needs it, boy, he can go to that second and third gear, and nobody's going to catch him. 49 yards on that last one for a touchdown.
151 yards today. Last year, he rushed 25 times for 84 yards against the Rebels. Here's the handoff to Deshaun Pearson. That gets about 4 on the play. I mean, now Ronnie Brown has scored 7 total touchdowns in the last 2.5 games. I mean, that's...
Yeah. Well, when we saw Cadillac Williams go down, we turned around and said, oh boy, it's going to be a tough year for Auburn to lose a player of that caliber. You know what? Cadillac can sit over there and watch right now, because that young man, he may not be a Cadillac, but he's a pretty high-priced car.
Well, we wish Cadillac all the best in his recovery. I know it's been a tough time for him, as Manning's pass is caught and then dropped out of bounds. That'll be a complete pass. They needed to get to the 30 for the first down. It'll be a couple of yards shy. Carlos Rogers put the hit on Bill Flowers, but
boy, you know, you need a little bit more than that short pass. I know that, you know, I know you're trying to take pressure off your quarterback and your offensive line for blocking, but you got to get more than 6-7 yards. You've got to get in that 8 to 10 range. I think the loss of Ziegler is a huge thing for Ole Miss. When they lost him, they lost such a force at tight end.
Manning now 3 of 10 on 3rd down and 2. Some pressure coming. Manning gets the pass off. It's caught by Espy out over the 41st down. And I think that was as big a play in this football game as Ole Miss has had.
Absolutely. Crossing pattern, interesting. They've been going to the flats. Out in the flat, out in the flat. And all of a sudden now they see Espy. I'm on a dart right across the middle. Look at this. He's got a seam, picks up positive yardage. And that's what you need to do. That'll give your quarterback confidence. He needs confidence right now.
Rosano, the fullback, takes the pass to the 48. Dontarius Thomas picks up the tackle. That'll be about 4 yards shy of the first down. Here's our Pizza Hut scoreboard. Wow, Rutgers up by a couple in the second quarter now. Iowa touchdown better than Wisconsin. And the Wolverines over the Spartans. And Duke by 10 over Clemson. Goodness. Pearson. There was not even a glimpse of a hole on that run by Pearson. Got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there's no hole up front. You got to see that hole. Watch this. Everybody's sealed along. He gets nicked in the backfield. There's nowhere to go. You got a lot of white shirts moving to the football. Mark Brown being one of them. You got to open up that seam where he can run through.
Marco McNeil, big number 92, has his game face on today. Third down, and how about that? All 11 defenders on the line of scrimmage. Quick hitter, and that'll be a first down for the Rebels. Chris Collins with a big catch. Chris had a big game last week. 10 catches, 138 yards versus Arkansas. Flowers had 11 catches.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Dave. All players, everybody on the line. Look at that. Not one person back in this area. Nobody. I mean, they're right up there. They're saying, hey, if you're going to beat us, now you get up on that line so you can worry that quarterback, get pressure on him, make him throw that ball quickly.
On 1st and 10, Manning hits Espy. Espy picks up 5 on the play before he's swarmed by a bunch of white jerseys. Horace Willis, first man to make the tackle for Auburn, but Espy trying to get some action going for the Rebels.
This is an interesting. This is that underthrow screen where you run along the line and let those big linemen get out there. But what Espy does, he cuts so far across the field, he runs right into Dontarius Thomas. But all of a sudden, you get the feel that Eli Manning's starting to get a little bit more into the offense, more into the flow.
Well, he's hit 5 in a row. Make it 6 in a row. That'll be close to a first down. The first down marker is between the 36 and the 37. They'll mark it at the 37.5, so there'll be a yard shy of the first down. Be 3rd down and 1. Pearson checks into the game for the Rebels. Four wide receivers. Quarterback sneak by Manning, and I think his 6'5" frame was probably good enough to get the first down. Eli Manning doesn't run a whole lot, but picked up his first rushing touchdown last week against the Razorbacks. And that's going to be 6 inches.
Ouch. Now, do you go for it? Do you punt it away?
But Dave, this is a tough situation. Yep. This is where tight ends have been a big problem for Ole Miss this year in terms of injuries. Of course, Doug Ziegler's out. Bill Hartsfield's banged up a little bit. Justin Sawyer moved out there and played a little bit last week. He's hurt. So you can't really go to that 3 tight end set, but they'll bring Hartsfield in and Rice. First down for Eli Manning.
Boy, and that's when you walk up to your center. In this case, it's Ben Claxton. You say, listen, you just come off that ball as you can. You get the big guards. They blow out there. Look at them just coming off that football, trying to stop the penetration. And then you let Manning just slide ahead for the first down. Keep the ball and move the chains.
Well, this has been a very solid drive for Ole Miss. It's now 10 plays that started at the Ole Miss 20. And this is exactly what that defense needed. There's a little break on that sideline. 6:30 and counting in the second quarter. Manning steps up in the pocket, fires a bullet. That's caught by Collins at the 20-yard line. That'll be another first down. That was just one of those fastballs, and there might be a mark on the chest of Chris Collins.
Well, sometimes when you catch this ball, it'll stick in you, and that's what Collins has to do. I thought for a minute there he bobbled it. You see him behind him? But that was a strike to him. That's like Manning saying, we're getting this thing going.
Well, his numbers in his last 7 attempts say that. He is perfect, 7 of 7 for 50 yards on this drive. Manning again. Miscommunication with his receiver, Espy, the freshman out of Madison, Mississippi.
Boy, that's something that we don't see with Ole Miss. You don't see mistakes in that offensive passing pattern.
Eli Manning will spread it out. 11 receivers caught a pass versus Arkansas, including 8 that had 2 or more, and 18 different players this year have caught a pass. So if you're a receiver, you're going to throw it to a game. Over the middle, it's Collins to the 10. That'll be about a half a yard to a yard shy of the first down. Carlos Rogers on the stop for Auburn.
And a lot of times the quarterback will go back to a receiver that's just caught a big pass for him. And Collins had caught that one earlier. Creeps across the middle, throws it to him. Move those chains, just keep it going.
David Cutcliffe has taken a little bit of heat the last couple of weeks around here, but Dave, he was so positive with us yesterday. It was hard not to believe that he felt good about his team coming into this one. He just thought they had a really good week of practice, and maybe they're putting it together right here. On 3rd and short, they lose a yard.
Boy, what great penetration that time. Jay Ratliff, I mean, he's in the backfield 2 yards. Number 83, right of your screen. He comes underneath the block, then squares up, and when he gets those hands on you, you're going down.
Well, Ole Miss brings out the kicking team. Jonathan Nichols will attempt a 30-yarder.
And it's a good decision. You've got to get points. You haven't moved the chains. This is your first drive.
Field goal is up and good. Nichols has now hit 7 straight field goal attempts. Play 67 yards, and Eli Manning put it together on that drive. 7 of 9 for 50 yards. But Tommy Tuberville will take just the 3 and give his offense and Ronnie Brown another chance.
Yeah, they've got a lot of time. 4.5 minutes before half.
Well, fans, you will see a couple of great games next Saturday. Arkansas at South Carolina or LSU at Kentucky. Fred Talley has been running wild with 3 straight 100-yard games as he leads the Razorbacks into Columbia to take on Lou Holtz's Gamecocks. And in Lexington, Jared Lorenzen and R2 Spinner will give the nation's #1 defense all it can handle as the Wildcats look to continue their surprise season. That'll be next Saturday, 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central. But be sure and check the listing in your area for the game that you will receive. How about Fred Talley, what he's been able to do? He has 559 yards rushing in his last 3 games. Unbelievable. And Jonathan Martin has 85 tackles, which leads the South Carolina defense. And then, of course, in Lexington, Jared Lorenzen closing in on 8,000 passing yards. And Brady James, those two will square off. Brady really put forth an unbelievable effort last week against Auburn. Just a dynamite performance in a losing effort.
Yeah, Tommy Tuberville told us that, hey, he made a believer out of me.
D. Durham. Durham out over the 20, still on his feet. Falls forward to the 23-yard line. A return of 19. Let's check in with Dave Baker, who's down on the sidelines. Buzz?
You know, Dave, when we were talking with John Latina yesterday, he said that the Rebels were going to try to do a lot of different things. Spread the field, do some different formations, short stuff over the middle to try to make it basically a passing running game. Eli Manning did a great job of that on that last drive, but boy, that last carry right there, it's just a glaring example of just how bad this Ole Miss running game has been here in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, thanks, Buzz. We showed you the graphic coming into this game. The last 2 performances, last 2 Saturdays, they're averaging .75 yards per carry. Brown all the way to the near side in motion, and the handoff goes to Trey Smith, who is tripped up, gets to the 25, a gain of a couple on the play. What a weird year it has been in the SEC West, and Auburn's win last week, they've really opened up some doors for Auburn, and you know, Arkansas not out of it, but some things have to happen for them. Ole Miss, of course, can't afford to lose another one, but certainly it added an extra week of anticipation for a lot of fans. Campbell fakes the handoff, keeps it. Campbell dives close to the first down, loses the football. It looked like he was down, and he might have gotten enough yardage for the first down in the process. Crowd wanted to fumble, but came out when Campbell hit the ground.
Well, I thought to myself when I saw number 99, Josh Cooper, running out there, if he doesn't get him, Jason Campbell is going to run a long way. Good block downfield. Again, was he down? The ball, oh yes, he's down. That's a good call. Brown can't cause a fumble.
Campbell got the starting job last week against LSU, wrestled it away from Daniel Cobb. The offense looked pretty sharp last week. And it helps when you have Ronnie Brown carrying the football. This time, Ole Miss right on the spot. Justin Wade gets over there to make the tackle for the Rebels. At halftime, we'll be taking a look at the Alltel halftime stats. Dave Baker will be around to get you through our halftime activities coming up in about 2:45 on the game clock. as Auburn looks at 2nd down and 13. Campbell going deep, looking for Willis. Passes incomplete. I thought for a minute Travis Knight batted it up in the air and it fell back in his lap. And the Ole Miss coaches want the interception, and I don't think they're going to get it.
Unbelievable. He made a great turn back inside. Oh, my. Watch this. Now he's going to look back inside, which every good defensive back should do. I thought the ball bounced off his chest straight up in the air. Let's watch when he comes down here. There it's down. Now look at the ball. The ball goes up. He caught that thing. Oh, from that angle, wow. It sure looked like he did.
Well, it's 3rd down and 13. Play action again. Campbell under pressure. Campbell well shy of the 1st down, and Auburn will have to punt it away. Jamie Mitchell tripped up the quarterback. Timeout taken by Ole Miss to stop the clock with 2:10 to go before halftime. Boy, that was a... I thought he had the interception.
I did too.
Well, these two clubs have met over the years 27 times, if you count this one, and one of their more memorable moments was in 1971 at the Gator Bowl. That's when the Rebels and the Tigers got together and matched two of the greatest quarterbacks in SEC history together, as Pat Sullivan of Auburn and Archie Manning's Ole Miss Rebels met. Sullivan passed for 351 yards and 2 TDs to one of those went to his favorite receiver, Terry Beasley. Manning had 275 yards of total offense with 1 TD on the ground and 1 through the air to Floyd Franks. The Tigers came out on top 35-28. By the way, Manning was wearing a plastic sleeve on his left arm, which was broken earlier in the season. And there is Archie on hand, as he always is, to watch Eli play, but played that season in a lot of pain with that broken arm. And as a matter of fact, in their Champions room here on campus, they actually have the cast on display that Archie wore in that 1971 Gator Bowl, and looks more like a sling than a cast, but it's hard to believe Archie played that game with that on his arm and still accumulated 275 yards, and he still holds the single game passing yardage mark, over 430 yards he had against Alabama in that great shootout against Scott Hunter and the Crimson Tide. Knuckleball punt. Jason Armstead fields it at the 20. Armstead has 1 touchdown for on a punt return this year.
Well, they have to go downfield, obviously, in 1:57 seconds. You want to have a positive note going into halftime. They just had a good drive. I look for them just keep doing the same thing. Look at little crossing patterns. Throw the dump to the outside, but one time you've got to go deep, kind of keep them honest.
Manning will go under center. Offset eye. Pearson, your running back. Manning hit as he throws. Ball's loose. Who's got it? And Ole Miss retains possession as the ball just squirted around in a big circle right around the 25-yard line.
Well, whenever a quarterback fumbles the ball, the one thing you don't want to do as a defensive lineman or linebacker is to let go of him, and that's what they did. When he fumbled the ball there, they held on to Manning. Keep him away, because he's one of the few that know that the ball is fumbled.
Manning fires, pass is caught at the 40-yard line. That'll be good enough for a 1st down. That'll stop the clock, a gain of 14. Chris Collins with another catch, but a flag down in the Ole Miss backfield.
That looks like holding back there. Oh, boy. You just moved the chains. You stop the clock. Holding will kill you.
Penalty from the previous spot. Still 2nd down.
Looks like with 1:21 left, looks like we got Terry back with us. Thank goodness. Stay tuned. Coming up at halftime, we'll be highlighting the best in the SEC, presented by Don Pablos. Looks like some sprinkles coming down a little bit here in Oxford. 116, 115. Manning under pressure again. Fires on the run. Great play from Carlos Rogers, and flags come down. It wasn't that great, I guess. Well, receiver was Trey Freifogel, and it may be that left hand on the back, Dave.
Exactly. I thought Carlos Rogers would run it step for step with him, but you cannot put that hand up on the back. You can reach in with that right hand, but you cannot put your hand on the receiver.
And that is a big break for the Rebels.
Well, Rogers is their best cover man.
And he's a little nicked up coming into this one. It was a game time decision whether or not he would start.
Pass interference against the defense. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That was a big break. And let's go back and look at it. You be the judge.
Well, number 14 is Carlos. He's running step for step. You see, yep, he's got that left hand on the back. Can't do that. Did good job with the right hand. Got a little sloppy with the left.
Manning over the middle. Oh, right through the hands of Travaris Robinson. Chris Collins, the intended receiver.
Boy, that's the second one that we've seen that just floats. This ball just is not, this is not the Manning that we've seen. Thrown off of his back foot kind of switch feet, and again, just letting the ball float. Look at that. That's not the Eli Manning that we've seen.
Dontarius Thomas was making his way toward Eli and got his arms up, and Eli kind of had to short arm the pass a little bit. Didn't want to follow through with it, and that's probably why it sailed. Second down and 10. Manning steps up in the pocket, hits Espy at the 39-yard line. That's a heck of a catch from Espy. Under a minute to go.
You gotta wait for the whistle. You gotta wait for the whistle.
Pressure coming from Auburn. Manning throws it up in the air looking for Espy and runs out of room, and Ole Miss wanted a pass interference call. Horace Willis on the coverage.
I got to tell you, I thought the official was going to call interference on that time.
And he may have, but I think he ruled the ball was probably uncatchable.
That's exactly what he's going to rule on it. This is interference when you put your hand like that. But you see where the ball was thrown? He started to reach. Again, you see him reach back for it, but then he thought about it and said, hey, that ball was not catchable.
Cody Ridgway will punt it away. Marcel Willis back to call the fair catch. Does so at the 25-yard line with 25 seconds to go here in the first half. 37-yard punt by Cody Ridgway. We talked about it a few moments ago, Dave, the West, and what a shootout it has become. And LSU, Auburn, Ole Miss, Arkansas, all still in the picture. Alabama might be playing the best football in the West, but they're ineligible to go to Atlanta and the championship game. But they have a chance to really mess this whole thing up. They have Auburn coming up. They have LSU coming up. I mean, let's face it, they can cause havoc for a lot of people.
Yes, they can.
All those teams still in it. You know, LSU certainly has the best shot at it with only one league loss to this point. But everybody else, you know.
When you're playing each other, it can quickly change.
Here's Campbell. Campbell under pressure, fires on the run, throws it out of bounds with 16 seconds to play in the first half.
Interesting call by Tommy Tuberville. Stand back there. You got 25 seconds. What do? Take a knee? He's throwing for 30, 40-yard passes. He's trying to go downfield.
I remember last year, Auburn, Arkansas. Auburn threw a interception late in the first half that Arkansas picked off, scored a touchdown a couple plays later, and got some momentum and really changed the game. Handoff goes to Brown, and that'll do it for the first half. But an impressive display by tailback Ronnie Brown, the sophomore out of Cartersville, Georgia, put on a show. 16 carries, 151 yards, and a pair of touchdowns. He'll go catch his breath. Ole Miss will go back, regroup. They're a long way from being out of this. It's 14-3 at halftime at Oxford's Vaught-Hemingway Stadium in an SEC West showdown. There's Ronnie Brown. That's a man that the Ole Miss Rebel defense will keeping an eye on, and that number 2-3. 152 yards, averaging almost a first down every time he runs with it. A couple of touchdowns. It gives him 7 touchdowns in the last 2.5 games.
Cadillac who? I'll tell you, he can make you forget Cadillac Williams.
Cadillac back at home watching, and we talked about it earlier, had a tough surgery to repair that broken leg, and we wish him the best. He is a class act and a guy who laid it on the line for this football program, and it's tough to see him go down with an injury. And you know, the same thing could be said for the number of injuries at Ole Miss, including their tight end Doug Ziegler, who's a captain, a guy they relied on heavily, who broke his leg as well.
And I don't say that in any disrespect to Cadillac Williams, but boy, Ronnie Brown has stepped it up.
Jason Armstead at the goal line. Armstead to the 20. Eli got off to a very slow start in the first quarter, 2 of 9, and then got his rhythm and hooked up with Mike Espy and Chris Collins a few times and finished up 11 of 21 for 80 yards. No TDs, no interceptions, but really had to battle some pressure. Eli was getting not knocked around, but he could feel some of those white jerseys.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on him. He had to move in the pocket. When you move in the pocket as a quarterback, you take your eyes off downfield. They've got to start throwing some completions.
Manning to fire on first down. Pass is knocked away on the far sideline by Roderick Hood. It was intended for Bill Flowers.
That is just great coverage by Hood. I mean, you're running man for man. You've got him one-on-one, stride for stride. You just reach up and flick the ball away. Watch this. You're all by yourself. You're just on an island out there. Great play.
Once again, all 11 defenders on the line of scrimmage. Dansby breaks off. He's the deep man now, but the pass comes near side. Rashawn Pearson with the reception, brought down by Junior Rosegreen in a good open field tackle. Boy, that was a strange defensive alignment. Dansby, their linebacker, ended up playing free safety after all was said and done.
I know. I saw him dropping back. I'm going, what is he doing going back there? But when you've got the speed of a Dansby, you can do those kind of things.
No huddle from Ole Miss on 3rd down and 5. Once again, they're all at the line of scrimmage. Manning fires again, looking for Espy. He was out of bounds and came back inbounds and was the first player to touch the football possibly.
Yeah, but he was forced out of bounds. Carlos Rogers forced him out of bounds. Again, watch this. He's pushing him out of bounds, and he comes back in, catches the ball in. You see the flag come out for interference. You see the hat go down for where he went out of bounds. There's the interference against the defense.
It's a big catch. First down yardage, plenty of it out near midfield is where they finally ended up. This will spot it at the 40, just shy of the 47.
Pass interference against the defense. The penalty is declined. The results of the play is a first down.
Just a little bump.
Yeah. Well, you can't do anything to hinder the receiver. You know, the old hook in his arm, those type of things.
Referees have been on it all afternoon. Ronald McClendon gets his first carry of the game. Ronald had some fumbleitis last week, and
you know what? There's nothing up front. I want to tell you, there's no push. There's no seam there. You see him going down. He's getting tripped up in the backfield. You've got to drive. If you're an offensive lineman, you've got to drive him off the block. Get underneath him. Lift him up. Make a seam. That's not what Ole Miss is doing right now.
Manning in the no-huddle offense. Throws and fires. Pass is caught. Armstead at the Auburn 41-yard line. Horace Willis with his 4th tackle this afternoon. But this is how Ole Miss is going to have to be successful. And that is throw these 5 to 15-yard routes all day.
Absolutely, and see they're going no huddle, so that doesn't allow Auburn to make defensive changes to get in that nickel or dime with the 5 or 6 defensive backs.
Manning going for it all. Has his man. Collins, touchdown Rebels. 41 yards. An 80-yard drive in 6 plays.
I think David Cutcliffe meant what he said. We're anxious to get the football at the start of the second half.
Going after is up and good, and for Collins, that is his 6th touchdown reception of the season. A great opening drive by the Rebels. They trail by 4. Well, it didn't take very long before Chris Collins and Eli Manning put the Rebels on the board here in the second half. It's 14 to 10. D. Durham back to return the kick. D hit at the 22.
And Dave, what a play on that last touchdown. Chris Collins gets great separation. Rashad Walker loses his cushion, and you will not see a better pass than this. Perfect, right over his shoulder. He looked it in, and that can be a game breaker. That can get Ole Miss back in this football game.
Saw Chris warming up before the game today. I said, "You ready?" He says, "Am I ready?" Yes, so.
He showed it there. Your actions speak louder than words.
Ronnie Brown trying to get the corner, picks up a couple. Boy, his speed is deceiving. Travis Blanchard out there on Ronnie Brown, and was closing the gap, and Brown just outraced him for a couple of yards.
You know, I used to hate running backs like that. They run at one speed, just when you're starting to get there, they shift into another gear, and then they run away from you.
Fullback is Brandon Johnson. Tailback is Ronnie Brown. And the handoff goes to 23. And 23 falls forward to the 35, and that'll be enough for an Auburn first down.
And Dave, if you're Auburn, what you want to do is come out here. Ronnie Brown's had a great half of football. You come out here, you establish that run. You don't try to fool him. You go all the way down the field, just running the football, controlling the line of scrimmage, and you set the tempo. You take it back.
Robert Johnson, Cooper Wallace, a couple of tight ends in the game. Roma Shadu in motion. The handoff goes to Brown. Brown trying to get that corner again, and this time Travis Blanchard played it a lot better. Didn't let Brown get that corner.
Yeah, but he still got almost 5 yards. I mean, he's one of those ones that can just take the football and he can run to it. And you've got to credit your offensive line. We talked earlier about Para, McNeil. They're just controlling the line of scrimmage.
All right, so Dave, they held him to 5 yards, but that's about 5 less than his average.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So they're making improvements.
Yeah.
Brown averaging 9 per carry this afternoon. And he goes in motion. Trey Smith now, the single setback. And he'll take the quick handoff. And Trey, the little man, that might be close to another first down. Justin Wade on the tackle. Trey, the 5'10", 190-pound true freshman out of Venice, Florida. I don't think he's a 190, though.
Well, you know what? Everybody talks about your stature in there, but he runs a lot bigger. You make the point. He doesn't run like he's 190. He's scampering in there. He's hard-nosed. When he got that chance last week, boy, he answered it.
Had a tremendous game last week against LSU. Had a great run. It took it down to about the 1 late in the football game. Willis in motion. Play action. Campbell fires over the middle. Has Aroma Shadu. Has the pass knocked out of his hands At the 15-yard line, Travis Blanchard saved a potential touchdown.
You talk about a great defensive play. That is a great defensive play. Good play fake. You're holding those linebackers and you go down and watch the defense. You get that arm in there, you rake the arm down, you see the catch. Now you just rip down, pull one of the arms away. That's excellent coaching because he had the football.
Roma would love to have that again. He'd wrap that up a little bit tighter. He's a big play guy. He's their big play threat really on offense right now. Here's the handoff to Brown. Ronnie Brown runs over defender out to the 45 of Ole Miss. That'll be a couple of shy of the first down.
Boy, you talk about delivering a hit. When you're the safety, Eric Oliver, you're supposed to do the hitting. He's doing the receiving. Look at that. Oh,
that looked like Deuce McAllister the other night in the Saints-Falcons game when he ran over a safety and scored a touchdown. Deuce, the former Rebel. Brown got nothing on third and short, might have lost a yard. Eric Johnson, who's playing in a lot of pain today, came up with a big play, and Auburn has to punt it away. That was a big, big play for the Ole Miss defense.
That was huge. You've given it to your best running back, and all of a sudden you get Eric Johnson, darts through into the secondary, brings him down short, and you stop the drive.
Duval back to punt. This is an extremely high kick that will hit at the 10 and down at the 1-foot line. Rashad Walker, the backup corner, makes a big play on the special teams. 45-yard punt for Damon Duval and the Auburn Tigers, who lead by 4. We'll return to Oxford after this. Auburn leads Ole Miss 14-10. Rebels have the football, but they can't get much further back. High throw intended for Espy. Let's check in with Buzz.
You know, Dave, sometimes the smallest changes can make the biggest difference. Last week against Arkansas, Ole Miss went with a no huddle for the first time this year. They found they liked it so much they've come back with it to start the second half of play, and it really seemed to have Auburn back on its heels that last series when Ole Miss finally got into the end zone. The question is, can you do that now realistically when you're so backed up against your own end zone?
And realistically, Buzz, when you can't run the football either. It's a tough, precarious spot for the Rebels. And that rush to Rick Rosano gets, I don't know, a foot.
A foot, exactly. I don't question coaches. I know they try to keep everything honest. But hey, nothing's working. Throw that football.
Our Ice House scoreboard. 35-3, Michigan over Michigan State. Duke still leading Clemson and Alabama up by a touchdown. Arkansas ahead of Troy State. Here we go, 3rd down, 9. And Manning falls in the end zone. That will be a safety. Reggie Torbor will get credit for the stop. But Manning just tripped.
I wonder if his center didn't step on him. See, his center might have stepped back on his foot. Oh, that's just a tough play. Center, when he's snapping that football, takes that little drop step. We may see it again. Watch the center when he steps back. Yeah, see his right foot. He steps back on Manning's right foot. See that a lot, trying to get out of that center quick. And Manning was actually slow getting out from underneath the center. Well, when you got your foot stepped on.
But you know, Dave, it's one of those situations. That's why that is such a dangerous spot to be in. You cannot afford the simplest of mistakes on a 3rd down from your half-yard line.
Well, there's Ben Claxton. That's, of course, the center. Great leader on this team.
That's Doug Buckles and Claxton talking. Can't see Ben from here. And that's the reason they were pinned back in there. Damon Duvall, the All-American punter, who lost his field goal kicking duties, but I talked about it earlier. He might have been a player of the game last week for Auburn, the way he kicked off and punted and kept Dominic Davis of LSU from breaking the game open and getting involved in the game realistically. So 16-10 after the safety. Cody Ridgway will punt after the safety. And he will punt it from his 20. Trey Smith, Marcel Willis back to return. So Auburn will more than likely get good field position here. There's the punt. It's end over end, little squibber.
Oh, he went out of bounds.
And it went out of bounds. Oh, no, that's going to move it forward even further toward midfield. And Auburn will have a short field.
Well, does that compound your problem? It's treated as like a kickoff, even though he punts it.
Kick out of bounds. Kick gets the kicking team. Auburn elects to take the ball on the 50-yard line. First down.
Well, for the best deals on cars, trucks, and SUVs, visit your local Toyota dealer today. Jason Campbell runs back onto the field. It's 9:41 remains in the third quarter. Campbell today 5 of 13 for 43 yards. He came in completing 71% of his passes this season. Campbell rolls, has some running room, but will throw it and picks up the first down in the process. Flag down in that Auburn backfield, however. Danny Lindsay, 68, looked like he might have gotten his paw wrapped around Charlie Anderson.
That's exactly what I think it is. I think it's going to come all the way back. It's going to negate a big play. Interesting, I was really surprised. I thought they would go ahead and just keep on running the football. Boy, Bobby Petrino, he didn't like that, the offensive coordinator.
Holding against the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains first down.
Danny Lindsay, the Douglas, Georgia native, sophomore. 8 penalties for Auburn. They came in 5th in the league in penalties, averaging 56 yards a game. So it'll be 1st and 20. Ball rests at the 40-yard line. Hand off to Ronnie Brown, and he's going nowhere, I think. The whole team's chasing him, and the Rebels finally bring him down at the 25. Charlie Anderson finally gets credit for the tackle. A loss of 15 on the play.
And this is called pursuit. When a running back turns back, it's called pursuit. Every coach teaches it. Angle of pursuit. Hang on, wait for help. You can see all the blue jerseys getting there. Charlie Anderson finally brings them down, and another huge loss. Look at the field position they've lost. They were at midfield.
2nd down and 34. First down marker is the Rebel 40. Pass is caught at the 40, but they're still 20 yards shy of the first down. Silas Daniels brought down by Eddie Strong. Silas playing with a strained groin muscle.
Well, if you're in the Ole Miss huddle right now, you're saying if you ever want to get a pass rush, you get it right now. 3rd down, long yardage, almost 20 yards. David Cutcliffe will tell you we've got to get pressure on the quarterback.
3rd down, 19.
Oh.
Looks like false start on that offensive line.
It may have been Danny Lindsay again, number 68. You know what's amazing? You should never false start.
Prior to the snap, false start against the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains 3rd down.
Oh, he saw, you know what he saw? Ben Nowlin move.
Exactly. Saw Nowlin squat. But when you're an offensive lineman, when you break that huddle, you repeat the snap count and the play to yourself as you run to the line. It's kind of like a reminder.
I'll tell you, though, it's tough. I mean, you watch the guy next to you move, the guy with the football, and Nowlin, I mean, your natural reaction would be to move.
Exactly.
Auburn 2 of 8 on third downs, but they're looking at a big one at 3rd and 24. All kinds of movement from Ole Miss defensively. Campbell hit as he fires, passes caught and fumbled. Eddie Strong recovers at the 44. What a huge hit by Kelvin Robinson.
Crossing patterns are the most dangerous, but watch the pressure, first of all, that Jason Campbell gets on. Boykin gets the pressure to start right there, but when he gets hit, when he's coming across the middle and he gets hit, Kelvin Robinson just layers. Oh, man, he just stuck him in there. Eddie Strong comes up with the ball. That's better than the punt, Dave. Look at the field position.
The excitement on that Ole Miss bench. You know, in the NFL, they charge you about 50 grand for a hit like that these days. Manning fires. Flags come flying. Hood pops up. Thought he had good coverage. Bill Flowers was the intended receiver.
I'll tell you, I'm not so sure that wasn't great coverage. Manning's just picking him out. Watch this little comeback inside now. That's the hold right there. Yep. Not on the tail end of the play, but you're right. When he made the motion back inside, he put that arm in there and grabbed him. Can't do that.
Pass interference against the defense. That is a spot foul and automatic first down.
You know, you look at an offense like Ole Miss. They had 90 yards at half. I mean, they're not in the football game.
That's what I said, David. It was amazing to me, and I know they're having trouble running the football, but this offense still has a lot of weapons, and that's what surprised me with only 90 yards. They can still move the football. They're doing it now. Manning will throw again. Flowers wide open at the 35. Flowers down to the 30 or the 27-yard line. Carlos Rogers makes the tackle. That'll be close to a first down. Gain of about 9 on the play.
And all of a sudden, the offensive line is giving Eli Manning time to throw. And you see the separation there that Flowers gets out in the flat. When you've got that time to throw, it makes things work.
That was good enough for a first down, so they'll move the chains. 1st and 10, ball on the 27. Delayed handoff goes to McClendon, who does what the coaches don't want him to do, and that is dancing around.
You know what? I know they want to keep him honest, but let me tell you, they are throwing the ball all of a sudden. And the run is not what's keeping the defense honest. It's the offensive lines giving them time. There's nothing there. Hey, I know you want to keep on running it, but don't.
Eli Manning started this game, Dave, in the first quarter, 2 of 9 for 9 yards. Since that time, he has completed 14 of 19 passes for 160 yards and a touchdown. I think he's got his rhythm back. And officials talking to both clubs saying, lighten up down there in the trenches, boys. There's a lot of pushing and shoving going on. Second down and 10. Manning pump fakes. Nowhere to go. Fires across the field. Pass is caught by Rosano, who dives to the 20. And Manning saved the day.
Well, Manning almost fell when he came off the center. When he started to come back, he looked as if he almost fell. Watch him again, coming off there. You see his quick little stutter step. Now he comes out here. He's got pressure. Look at this throw. He turns around, sees him coming right in his face, and he just unloads it out there to Rosano. Wow. Instead of being about a 6-7 yard loss, he just answers the call, picks up positive yardage.
Gain of 7. Here's our first half comparison. Already Ole Miss has surpassed their first half total here in the third quarter. Pass is caught. Freifogel taken down at the 12 by Dontarius Thomas. That'll be a first down for the Rebels.
And Dave, I see pass blocking now. That time I watched Belton Johnson sticking in there, just holding them out. Now that's a big stick right there by Dontarius Thomas. He picks you up and he puts you down. But you've got to expect that. Boy, that's a clinic in tackling. But all of a sudden I see this Ole Miss offensive line giving Eli Manning some time to throw.
Eli Manning wants a timeout. He'll get it. With 5:21 to go here in the third quarter. Ole Miss is driving. They're down by 6. It's getting interesting in Oxford. Back after a word from your local stations. 16-10, Auburn leads Ole Miss, but the Rebels moving here in the third quarter. Let's check in on the sidelines and Dave Baker. Buzz.
Dave, you were talking about the extracurriculars. A minute ago, Marcus Johnson and Mark Brown got tangled up. Johnson, 6'6", 320. Eli Manning went and grabbed him by the neck and said, hey, keep your head in this thing. We can't afford a penalty at this end of the field. Maybe, just maybe, we're seeing the emergence of Eli Manning, the leader on this football team besides outstanding quarterback.
Thank you, Buzz. Keep an eye on that. 1st and 10 from the 12. Manning scrambles, fires, throws it away. Pressure came from Jay Ratliff, the sophomore out of Valdosta, Georgia. And a flag down at the 20. They may say it's intentional grounding, but McClendon was out there, and he broke back to the quarterback, and Manning just threw it over his head.
Yeah, I think this is just, yeah, see, there he is, McClendon. You see him in the picture. Yeah, he threw it out of bounds. I don't think that was as bad as the first one.
Yeah, they're going to wave it off. Good call. I think it's a good call.
I do too. But that's not the kind of pass I think you're going to be successful with. Stand back in that pocket, run those receivers, little cross pattern, see if you can get that one-on-one and find somebody.
So it's 2nd down at 10. Ball on the 12 still. Armstead, Freifogel, Collins, your receivers in the game. Lozano and McClendon in the backfield. Here comes some pressure from Auburn. Quick hitter. Pass is caught. Touchdown. It's Chris Collins for the 2nd time today. And Ole Miss has a chance to take the lead.
This is one of those wow patterns. Carlos Rogers is evened up, and once you lose it, and he makes that inside cut, he's into the end zone. Look at this, great cut in there by Collins. He's wide open. His line gave him time to throw the ball.
Point after is up and good by Jonathan Nichols. And how about this? Who would have thunk this? As we went to halftime, Ole Miss would lead Auburn 17-16, but that is the case. And for some of the 60,000 that left at halftime, you better get back.
Well, when you blitz, you put your corners in one-on-one coverage. And that time, Chris Collins made him pay for the blitz. He beat Carlos Rogers on a post pattern.
Chris Collins coming off a 10-catch game against Arkansas where he had 138 yards. His 5 career 100-yard games is a Rebel record. And now has, for the season, 7 touchdown receptions, including 2 today. So the speedster, the junior out of Gloucester, Mississippi, having another big afternoon. And I'm just... I don't know. I don't want to say I'm surprised because I know how good this passing game of Ole Miss can be. But nonetheless, Auburn's defense in the first half, Dave, was awesome, and Eli's just picking them apart right now.
Well, 90 yards. That tells you they didn't have much of an offense. But they, all of a sudden, you mentioned that one time when they went for it and made that first down, that it changed the momentum of the game, and it did, Dave.
Lee Rogers will kick off for the Rebels. Back to return, Trey Smith, number 22, and D. Durham, number 27. It's a line drive. Smith will knock it down at the 8 and then fall down at the 10. That was a tough ball to handle. A bullet that was probably looking like a knuckleball coming at 80 miles an hour. And Smith might have been better off just to let it go.
And you talk about field position. Wow, if you're Auburn, you're starting inside, right at the 10-yard line, 11-yard line. Terrible field position. But they need to regroup. Jason Campbell needs to go in there and be the leader.
There's the true freshman. Well, Jason Campbell facing his first adversity as a starter. Crowd getting into it and making a lot of noise. Campbell fires. Pass is caught, but maybe a yard or two. Silas Daniels on the reception. Actually, they'll give him 4 with forward progress. Next week, LSU and Kentucky. How about the offense of Kentucky against the defense of LSU? Some of you will see that game. Others will see Arkansas and South Carolina. Can the Razorbacks keep the momentum going? Check the listings in your area for the game that you will see. It's LSU, Kentucky, or Arkansas and South Carolina next Saturday right here on Jefferson Pilot Sports. I formation. Play clock down to 4. Oh, now the momentum has definitely switched sides. The Rebels are feeding off the crowd.
And I've been in this situation. There's nothing that lifts the defense more than when your offense scores. Look at the number of blue shirts coming to the football. That time Anderson gets in there. He gets in low, makes the tackle. But they're just rising up because they're excited just like the offense is.
Ronnie Brown, first half or second half, what a difference. 144 yards difference. Brown switches to the left of Campbell. 3rd down and 9. Campbell fires, incomplete. Tigers will have to punt. Dave, what's happened to Auburn's offense?
I know. I'm thinking to myself, what happened to Ronnie Brown? I mean, we're talking about somebody that had incredible yards. Another one, Jason Campbell. We've seen him scramble. He's not been able to scramble today. They've not been able to find wide outs. It's just like they shut down. They're just going through a lull. And if you're Ole Miss, you're going to get great field position. You should get the ball inside the 50-yard line.
Gene Chizik, the offensive coordinator, we saw him. He's probably getting a little antsy. 4th and 9. Duvall's punt is a good one. Drives Armstead back to the 36, and he fumbled it. Flag down at the 48 of Ole Miss, a 52-yard punt. Let's wait on that flag. Ball was in the air when that flag was thrown. And that could back up Ole Miss. They were going to have pretty good field position. If it's against the Rebels, it's going to drive them deep into their own territory.
You know, you mentioned David Duvall. Golly. I mean, that time they're going to get the ball in midfield. Look at this. Well, the first half, it was terrible for Eli Manning. He had nothing going right. But the second half has been incredible. I mean, he's thrown with authority. He's got results. He's moved the chains. He's thrown touchdown passes. He's had great catches. Chris Collins. It has just been, it's almost like a different Eli Manning. There's the second touchdown by Collins. Wow, what a half.
So the holding call against Ole Miss will move them back 10 yards from the end of the play. So it's 1st and 10 from the 22. Some pressure coming. Manning has time, fires. Pass is picked off at the 35. Carlos Rogers. Rogers to the 21-yard line of Ole Miss. Oh, boy. Mike Espy was the intended receiver, and Rogers just stepped in front of him.
Well, we called Carlos Rogers the best cover man. And you can only challenge him so many times. Top of his screen. Look at number 14. Gets great cushion. Little slip there by Espy. Espy slipped. We talked about that turf. Rogers did not.
Well, we brought that up at the top of the show, Dave. That is a treacherous area of the football field. It's just literally dirt, soft dirt, almost sand that's been painted. And that cost Ole Miss there as Espy fell down. Here's Brown, Ronnie Brown. Brown stiff arms, on his feet. Touchdown Tigers. They answered the call.
Well, offenses make you pay when you make a mistake. And watch Ronnie Brown go through here. A missed tackle right in there. You got to bring them down. But good selection, good vision into the hole. And we see that Ronnie Brown speed. He burst through there.
And Auburn's going to go for 2. Trey Smith in motion. Campbell to the corner of the end zone. It's Smith. It's good. The conversion works, and it's 24-17. The Auburn Tigers have added to their total of points scored off turnovers. They came in leading the Southeastern Conference. They have now scored 98 points off of opponents' turnovers this year. That is impressive. Man, the seesaw we've had here in the third quarter. Goodness.
Well, what a huge turnover. What a huge turnover. Because Ole Miss has got all the momentum. They've stopped them. Their defense has come out. Now they got to regroup. Now they've been stung.
Dave, that's just a bad break for Ole Miss. I mean, you don't expect your receiver to fall down.
Well, exactly. He was in one-on-one coverage. He fell down. The defender did not. Ball came right to him. Carlos Rogers on Espy.
Well, Ronnie Brown, what are his totals now? 24 for 181 and 3 touchdowns today. He has 9 total this season, and he has 8 total touchdowns in the last 3 games. There's a guy who can, in about 20 seconds, tie this game up. That's Armstead back to return the kick, along with Chris Collins. Dangerous weapons. Duval will kick off with that strong leg. And it's another good kickoff. Ball will be down. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. Well, here's the interception again.
Yeah, this is what leads to it. You see Espy slip right there. Carlos Rogers, he's got the football. He just steps right in front. And again, watch this hole by Ronnie Brown. Good vision, right back to your left. He sees the hole, sees it open up. Just as it opens up, he runs through arm tackles, breaks tackles, and scores.
See the numbers, rushing and passing today. Well, here you go, Rebels.
Yeah.
You fought your way back, you got the lead, now you got to do it again. 1st and 10 from the 20. 196 yards through the air for Eli Manning. Pressure coming from the backside. And Eli felt it. Trey Stallings was trying to drive Torbor to the outside, but Torbor was a little too close for Eli's comfort.
I don't think he didn't feel that, or at least hear it. He sees that flash on the backside and says, whoa, somebody's in the backfield.
For the best deals on cars, trucks, and SUVs, visit your local Toyota dealer today. 2:54 to go in the third quarter. It's 2nd down and 10. Quick throw to Collins. Collins dodges a couple of defenders, falls to the 29-yard line. That'll be a yard shy of the 1st down. Travis Williams makes the tackle for Auburn.
Now, where Manning has been successful in that little short out pattern, he needs it right now. They need to keep the ball.
Dave, we just saw that update. Rutgers by a field goal in the 4th quarter over the Miami Hurricanes. Oh, boy.
Wow.
3rd down 2. I formation. Manning will throw it. It's caught. 1st down. Move the chains. Chris Collins with another catch today.
You know, it's amazing. If you can't run the football, you got to throw it. You got to rely on the receivers. They haven't been getting a push up front. You can go to that man, number 8. He's caught everything thrown his way. That's Chris Collins.
John Latina, the offensive coordinator, with the hat leaning forward. That's Kurt Roper in the near part of the screen. Quarterback's coach. Manning will throw again over the middle. Pass batted in the air. Picked off by the Auburn Tigers. It's Horace Willis. Another unfortunate break for the Ole Miss Rebels.
Boy, when it rains, it pours. You don't want to tip a ball up in the air. If you're a receiver, don't tip it. You see how high the ball goes? When that ball is tipped, every wide receiver, every defensive back yells, fire, fire, and they turn and look at the ball.
Looks like Mark Brown popped it up in the air. He and Bill Flowers were battling for the football. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. 2:03 to go in the third. Here's Brown. Gets 3 or 4 on the play. Josh Cooper makes the tackle.
And Dave, we talked about Ole Miss doing what they do well. That's what Auburn has done well. They've given the ball to Ronnie Brown. Don't do anything fancy here. Take control of this football game.
There goes Carlos Rogers off into that Auburn locker room. He picked up the interception moments ago, and Auburn converted into a touchdown. Look at the rushing yards today.
Wow.
You know, same thing last week. Arkansas ran for over 200. And Ole Miss could only manage 34. Here's Campbell on the keeper. Campbell to the Ole Miss 45, and that's where he stopped. That'll be 2 yards shy of the first down. LP Spence makes the tackle, and Justin Wade getting up a little bit slowly. Carlos Dansby getting some work done on that left ankle over on that Auburn sideline. Dansby's been held pretty much in check today for him by his standards.
Yes, exactly. He sets different standards.
Yeah. 3rd down and 1.5 yards. 2 tight ends. That's Cooper Wallace in motion. I formation. Aroma Shadu in motion. The handoff goes to. It's a play fake. Campbell keeps it wide open as Diamond. To the 30, down to the 25-yard line. What a play fake by Jason Campbell. He sold it extremely well.
When I watched Ronnie Brown run in there, I thought he had the ball too. We've watched Ronnie Brown run with a lot of authority. He ran in there, just really sold it. How about this play? Watch Ronnie Brown. He's going to come in there. Everybody's going after number 23, right? He doesn't even have the ball. Stand back here. Look at Jason Campbell. Wide open. Diamond sneaks off the line out into the flat. Huge play.
Diamond got up a little slowly. He made it his way to the bench, but in the middle of the field is Matt Greer, who's still laying down or trying to figure out what is wrong with him. Greer might have just gotten his leg tweaked a little bit. Tim Mullen, the head athletic trainer out there, taking a look at that calf of Greer. And Diamond on the other side looks like he might have twisted up an ankle in the process. Go back and look at the play fake.
It's amazing. There's Ronnie Brown. He's going to come up in here. You play fake. Everybody is held in here, right? The quarterback's got the ball. Look at Diamond. Just sneak off the line of scrimmage. I mean, it's a perfect call.
I tell you, though, Ole Miss did a nice job of reacting back to that football, Dave, because obviously in that situation, everybody in the building's thinking Ronnie Brown, Ronnie Brown, Ronnie Brown. But Ole Miss didn't give up the 40-yard touchdown play.
No, exactly right. They played their keys. They were late getting to them, but you play your keys. All of a sudden you see somebody sneaking off the line, you say, hey, wait a minute, that's my coverage, and you run to it.
But that's one of those plays that could have gone the distance. But everybody will line it up again. We'll get an update on Matt Greer and Lorenzo Diamond from Dave Baker in a matter of moments. But here we got 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. 1st down and 10 for the Auburn Tigers. Here's Ronnie Brown. Brown to the outside. Ronnie Brown runs out of bounds at the 18-yard line.
And Dave, what makes that go is Brandon Johnson gets a great block. I mean, watch number 45 get a block there. And then look at Aroma Shadu. Look at him. He just tangles him up in there. Downfield, you don't think of those wide receivers making blocks. That's what allowed Ronnie Brown to get to the outside corner. Good block by Johnson. Good block by Aroma Shadu.
And another Auburn Tiger down, Danny Lindsay, the sophomore guard out of Douglas, Georgia. 6'2", close to 300 pounds.
Well, you know where they are, right in that bad spot of field. I know we've talked a lot about it, but it's hard on offensive linemen because you can't dig in. It's just an uneven surface, and your feet a lot of times slip out from underneath you.
Buzz, what do you got on the sidelines?
Good news so far on the Auburn sidelines. It looks like Lorenzo Diamond and Carlos Dansby just got their ankles tweaked a little bit. They're getting retaped on the sidelines. They're both up and running to be ready to go. Same deal for Matt Greer over on the Ole Miss sideline as well. He's now bouncing around and looks like he'll be able to get back in.
And it looks like Danny Lindsay will jog off as well, and that's good news. Danny, one of the anchors on that line. It's had to deal with some injuries, much like every team in the league. I don't remember a year, Dave, where there's been more devastating injuries and more injuries across the board for every team.
Yeah, tough injuries, broken legs.
Broken arms,
yeah, exactly.
Separated shoulders, concussions, torn Achilles, you name it, it's happened. Broken foot, Lanier Gothi for Ole Miss. Brown chased down, brought down by McKinley Boykin, the freshman out of Bessemer, Alabama. That was a big play by a guy who's got a great future. That is the end of the third quarter. It's a one-touchdown game, and Ole Miss might have found some offense behind Eli Manning, but Auburn knocking on the door. Back with the fourth quarter after this. Rebel cheerleaders think this is far from over, and it is with 15 minutes to go. It was 14-3 at halftime. Ole Miss opened up the third quarter with a great drive. Chris Collins with a touchdown reception. He would later add another TD reception. But Auburn also has scored, and now they're knocking on the door, but they're looking at a 3rd down and 2 from the 17. Handoff, Brown. First down marker was right about the 15.5, and they're going to spot the ball at the 15, so that'll be a first down. Eric Oliver and Lel-P Spence converge for the tackle.
Well, this is good blocking and good recovery by the defense. Get rid of those blocks, stand them up, don't let them fall forward, help push them back.
We got the first down. I liked how Ronnie Brown hit that hole. No dancing, going right at it.
Well, that's the difference in 3rd down and 1 and 2, and when you're trying to get the big one to the outside.
Brown closing in on 200 yards. He has 193. See what that was all about. Probably a offensive lineman moving.
Prior to the snap, false start against the offense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, remains first down.
Ronnie Brown looks like he might be in a little bit of pain back there. But here's our Gatorade third quarter stats. 213 rushing yards, and of course 90% of those coming from Ronnie Brown. Ole Miss has thrown for 211, and they still cannot run the football, even though they basically gave up on it after halftime. 1st and 15. Ball sits outside the 20. The play action to the fullback. Campbell under pressure, fires. Wide open, Ben Abamanu. Touchdown. Abamanu snuck free, and there wasn't a defender around.
That's exactly what he did. He snuck through. It's almost like tight end delay. What he does is he comes across the field and nobody sees him. Watch him just come into your picture right in here. No one's even close to him. Breaking coverage, didn't follow the keys. Oh boy.
And Duval in to attempt the point after. And he almost kicked it out of the stadium. On the point after. Ben Abamanu with his 2nd receiving touchdown of his young Auburn career. Ronnie Brown and company sitting on that bench talking to his fullback, Brandon Johnson, and his tight end, Robert Johnson. After the touchdown, Auburn has extended their lead 31-17. The ball's kickoff is returnable. Jason Armstead takes it to the 28-yard line. Hey fans, now is your chance to enter Toyota's You Pick 'em sweepstakes. Just go online at jpsports.com, click on the Toyota banner to register and pick the winners. Weekly prizes will be given to the participant with the highest point total. The grand prize winner, to be announced on November 23rd, will receive a new 2003 Toyota 4Runner. The Toyota You Pick 'em sweepstakes. See jpsports.com for the official rules. Entrants must be legal residents of the states of Florida, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. 1st and 10 from the 27. Here's a little pitch. McClendon. Nothing happening. A gain of a yard, but what a great play from that corner.
Oh, Horace Willis. He's the corner. Dave, when you get blocked, you got to get back up. Watch number 6 right there. He gets up, just dumped up, square. Get back up.
What a play.
Isn't that amazing? That's what you're taught. Get up off the ground.
That is a heck of a football play. Second down and 8. Manning has time. Armstead makes the catch as he gets hit. Good catch. He was crushed by Junior Rosegreen, but that'll be a first down. Move the change. Now Ole Miss has plenty of time since they throw the football so much.
Absolutely, and they can make it if they do play catches like this. You know you're going to get hit in there, and you just got to hold on to that football, take your blow, and come back and say, hey, you give me your best shot. If I'm Eli Manning, that's the kind of receivers I want.
A check at the line from Eli. McClendon to the 48. And that is their longest run of the day. They might have just doubled their rushing yardage.
Well, McClendon, he's got the speed, he's got the movement, but he hasn't made good decisions in the past. This is a good decision. Cut back against the grain, look for your blockers. Now, put that football away. Don't get careless with it. They picked up almost 10 yards on that run.
Well, they went from 10 total yards rushing to 19 on that carry. And here come the chains. They may have doubled it, gone from 10 to 20. If they give him the first down, I think he's a little bit short. Ooh, by a nose of a football. Boy, the temperatures have dropped, Dave. They started at kickoff around mid-50s, and I bet they're in the mid-40s.
I know.
It is a cool afternoon in Oxford on a fall day where the leaves are changing. And I have a feeling Buzz is probably changing too on the sidelines.
Changing colors from pale to pale blue.
That's my boy. Second down and inches. Rick Rosano bouncing off some defenders. A first down inside Auburn territory to the 44. Dontarius Thomas was the man Rosano bounced off of.
And all of a sudden you get the idea, wait a minute, maybe we can run the football. Look at Rosano just bouncing off blocks. Keep that momentum, that weight going forward. Keep digging those legs. And a little bit of extracurricular activity on the tail end of that play, but that's what you want to do. You want to come off that football and open a seam.
First down and 10, and all 11 again are on the line of scrimmage. This is the sixth time we've seen this from Auburn's defense today. There is nobody back, and Dansby slides now to play that free safety. Manning to throw. Right on the money. Inside the 10, it's Tay Biddle, the freshman out of Decatur, Georgia, covered by Horace Willis. But what a throw from Manning as it picks up 35.
Well, he read the men on the line of scrimmage on 10 of the 11, and he made them pay for it. He's got Biddle at the top of your screen, and he throws a strike. Not bad coverage on the play. Look at this. One-on-one coverage, but just a perfectly thrown football.
Couldn't have thrown it any better, Dave. That was
No, absolutely.
good. That's why you practice as much as he does. First and goal from the 8. Manning falls down, throws it in the air, nearly caught for a touchdown. Horace Willis knocks it away. Manning was falling on his backside when he let go of the football.
I think he got his foot stepped on again. Watch him, he's falling down. Look at this, and he just throws it to the corner. Again, is this interference? Watch this right here. Ball's in the air.
No.
No, absolutely.
That is a heck of a defensive play.
You better believe it. That's Horace Willis. That's great coverage.
Second down and goal. Here comes some pressure from Auburn. They pick it up. Manning was looking for Biddle again, but miscommunication.
I wondered what a factor Dansby might have been in that play. Dansby was in the backfield, and I wondered if Manning just kind of peeked out of the corner of his eyes and saw number 11 coming his way.
Well, Dave, is this two-down territory?
Absolutely.
With 11:22 to go? You're down a couple of touchdowns?
Absolutely. This isn't field goal range. I'd be really surprised at a field goal.
4 receivers on third and goal from the 8. Manning fires, touchdown! It's Collins again, his 3rd of the game.
Touchdown, McCutcheon.
Chris Collins has 8 catches, 106 yards, and now 3 touchdowns this afternoon.
Well, he gets separation, he gets speed off the ball, and he is a sure handler of the football. He catches it when it's thrown there.
Point after is good. A late flag comes flying in at the 4-yard line, but Collins, what a day, what a week he's had if you go back to Fayetteville, Arkansas, when he had 10 receptions against the Razorbacks. 18 catches in 2 ball games, and now has 6 career 100-yard games, which is breaking his own Ole Miss record. The junior, 6'2", 190. Well, here's the call.
Dead ball, personal foul, late hit against the kicking team. The field goal is good. The penalty will be assessed 15 yards on the kickoff.
So the extra point is good, and it appears that Auburn might have pretty good field position after the kickoff. But the folks that left the stadium and watching this on TV might want to head back. We've got something going in Oxford. It's a cool afternoon in Oxford, but those that stayed around, they have been treated to an offensive explosion here in the second half. There is a little bit, to give you an idea of how cool it is. That's Drano, our end zone cameraman, bundled up. You know, he walked around yesterday, Dave, in short sleeve and t-shirt and shorts, and trying to act macho, but we know better.
Suzuki presents a look back at a
Trey Smith, still on his feet. Look at him drive the pile out over the 45, and Auburn does have pretty good field position after the Ole Miss personal foul on the point after. And speaking of moments ago, being in the cool elements, the guy that sucked it up for us, Dave Baker's on the sidelines.
Hey, Dave, I think one of the things that's been most impressive to me this year is the job that Bobby Petrino has done in his first year as offensive coordinator at Auburn. He's lost his star running back. He's gone through a quarterback change, and he seems to really have a great pulse as to when to ratchet it up or when to slow it down. And it's going to be key for Auburn not only to get points here, but to control the tempo in this football game.
game.
Yeah, I think they need a couple of first downs at least on this drive. You don't want to give Ole Miss any momentum. There's a good way to get some of those first downs. Hand it off to 23 as he'll give you 10. Those have been the key numbers for Auburn today, 23 and 10.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, number 23, Ronnie Brown. Bobby Petrino has to love him. He loves having Ronnie Brown because Ronnie Brown does not go down with arm tackles. He runs through tackles. A lot of backs would go down right here. He runs right through the block of the tackle, I should say, of Charlie Anderson, and he picks up positive yards.
Well, he's gone over the 200-yard mark, a career afternoon for Ronnie Brown. Congratulations to him. And here's Trey Smith, the true freshman out of Venice, Florida. That'll be a first down. Gain of 10. And that's what we talked about. A couple of first downs always kind of deflate the team that just scored, you know? For the best deals on cars, trucks, and SUVs, visit your local Toyota dealer today. 9:53, 9:52 and counting as whistles blow. Flag down.
Prior to the snap, encroachment against the offense, lined up in the zone. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, still first down.
That's funny, for all year we've been fighting the battle of the tight ends flaring out, not having enough guys on the line of scrimmage, and that's the first time I've heard an encroachment on the offense.
You know what that is? That's where the offensive lineman comes and he sits down and he's in the neutral zone. And he just can't pick his hand back up and move back out because he's already set.
12 penalties today for Auburn for 85 yards. Brown goes in motion to the far side. Campbell throws to the inside. Eddie Strong got his paw on it, and a flag comes flying. It's going to be hard for me to say that's pass interference on the defense after the ball was batted in the air by Eddie Strong. It's a free ball at that point.
Yeah, they're calling. I think that's what the call is going to be. But Eddie Strong hit it before it even got close to him. And that's exactly what the officials are in there talking about. They said, wait a minute, ball was tipped. I think you're exactly right, Dave.
There is no foul on the play. The ball was tipped. Second down.
Dave, watch Eddie Strong get in there, get that hand up. And I want to tell you right now, if you're Ole Miss, you've got to make a stop. This will help. Get the hand up right there. Good play. React back to the football. But Ole Miss right now, they need a huge stop. There's one of the men that can do it, Eddie Strong.
He'd love to have his counterpart Lanier Goethe in there with him today, but Lanier watching with a broken foot. Handoff goes to Brown. Ronnie Brown got back to the original line of scrimmage. Charlie Anderson with the tackle for Ole Miss. And here we go. This will be a big third down for Ole Miss as the clock approaches 9 minutes to go in the football game. And Dave, this is one of those games where the loser, while they're not mathematically eliminated from an SEC West championship, it's pretty doubtful if they lose.
Tough uphill climb. No bigger play than this right now if you're on either side of the ball.
Campbell trying to set up a screen to Brown. They do so, but Ole Miss is all over it. Campbell backpedaled all the way down to his 35.
And Dave, it was a good call. You run a screen out there. You can see the number of players sliding out there. But look at the blue shirts. They're running with a passion, trying to get to the football. Justin Wade in there. He's the one that just swipes the foot away. Wait a minute. This is a field goal, buddy.
Well, Damon Duval will kick long field goals, according to Coach Tuberville, and this is a long one. This is from 50 yards. His long this year is 39, and he's only 4 of 10 in 2002. No wind. The kick is away. The kick is up. No good. He pulled it left. He definitely hit it hard enough. It just hooked left. And Ole Miss has good field position.
Well, we talked about them needing a stop. They got their stop. Well, what a leg on Damon Duval. I mean, that thing had the leg to make it from 60 yards.
Just did it. Ronnie Tuberville actually watched this one. We saw him last week at home turn his back on a couple of field goal attempts. That's how it's been at Auburn this year. But are we looking at overtime? The teams that have played the 2 most overtime games in the SEC, well, they're pretty close to that setting right now at 31-24. McClendon gets stood up at the 39. Let's check in with Buzz.
Hey, David, interesting decision there by Tommy Tuberville, because the last time Damon Duval punted the ball, he pinned Ole Miss at the 1. That led to the safety. Tommy Tuberville chooses to go for the points instead of the field position, indicating to me that he believes that Eli Manning can get this Ole Miss team in the end zone one more time.
Good point, Buzz.
Excellent point.
2nd down and 4 after the 6-yard pickup by McClendon. Play clock at 6, but Manning gets the snap off. Fires, passes high. He's been high on that same pass 4 or 5 times today.
But good coverage on the play. You got to credit Auburn. They're doing a great job covering. Man on man, just running the seams right with them. Roderick Hood that time, he was flat out running with Armstead.
3rd down and 4. Ole Miss 7 of 15 on 3rd down conversions. They came in 10th in the league. 35% conversion rate. Pass is caught. That goes to Trey Freifogel, and that's going to be about a yard shy, maybe a half a yard shy of a 1st down. What do you do, Dave?
Well, you've got to get the 1st down. Watch Freifogel come out here into the flat. I mean, he's got to get the 1st down yardage.
They call it a 1st down.
Oh, wow. I thought we were going to see him come up short.
That was a great spot.
Boy, it was.
My goodness.
You're saying a yard short.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, well, maybe a half. Hey, move the chains.
Ole Miss will take it. McClendon. Some daylight. That's another 1st down as he moves it into Auburn territory. Mark Brown brings him down. McClendon's got excellent speed if he can get through the initial contact at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they said he danced into the hole. Look at a little stutter step there. I think that this is good coaching. I think it's really good coaching. You do the stutter step, but explode through the hole, and you're exactly right. He is better.
Yeah, he's getting better. It cut down on the dance, that's for sure. It was a 1-song dance, not a 2-song dance. Does it again and gets a couple on the play.
Now what you do in this situation is maybe do a little play fake, pull that football down. You've got the defense playing honest, and go upstairs. Maybe look for Flowers, look for Collins, who's had a whale of a day.
When the Jefferson Pilot Sports Crew is on the road covering SEC football, we like to eat at Huddle House and always enjoy their Big House breakfast and lunch platters. We've got a tremendous platter for you right here in Oxford, Mississippi, of great football in the SEC. On 2nd and 8, Manning under pressure. Manning goes down at the 48. DeMarco McNeil leads the way.
Boy, just broke down the pocket. I saw number 92, DeMarco McNeil. What he did is he did a swim move. That's where you fake inside, come back over, and go to the outside. Super, super pass rush move.
Ole Miss, as the clock ticks, remember, only has 2 timeouts remaining. They burned one earlier in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 13. Pass is caught. That'll be a 1st down at the 34-yard line. It's Trey Freifogel, the sophomore.
Dave, you won't see a better example of looking the ball in than Freifogel. Watch this, number 3's coming across the field. Watch him stretch for it. When that ball hits his fingers, he pulls it back in.
Manning, 284 yards through the air. High formation, a lot of movement. Doug Buckles might have popped up, number 62.
False start against the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
First down and 15 now. Good to have Terry Brown's mic working again.
Yeah.
Lost him in the first half, our referee. 4 wide receivers and a short shotgun. Delayed handoff goes to McClendon. Ronald McClendon down to the 30-yard line. Travaris Robinson with his 7th tackle, teaming up with Mayo Sal for the stop.
Dave, you know, as I look at McClendon, I'm thinking to myself, no one questioned his speed and his ability to run. They questioned his decision. And you made a good point. He has really, really run through the ball, run through the hole with authority. Look at the play selection.
McClendon, 8 carries, 40 yards. That matches their 2-game previous total. McClendon will add to that. That was just a gigantic hole by the Rebel offensive line. Dansby drags him down. That'll be close to a first down. Let's see what they do with the chains. They will bring them in. It's an official timeout.
Look at this hole. I mean, there's a hole in there that anybody can run through. Good quick feet into the hole. Pick up those positive yards. And all of a sudden, you're talking about an offense that had 10 yards, had just gone away from the run, and now all of a sudden they're able to run the football with authority.
I wouldn't say authority.
Well, when I say authority, I mean, compared to,
right, yeah.
compared to what they were.
They have 52 yards on the ground, and they can add another first down to their statistical story today. An Ole Miss coach's box. Vaught Hemingway Stadium and the new addition in that end zone. They could explode if Ole Miss can put it in the end zone here. It's the 10th play of this drive. Started at the Ole Miss 33. McClendon breaks a tackle. McClendon inside the 15, down to the 12. Hello, Rebel running game.
McClendon with those quick feet, good decision, no dancing in the hole, just find a little seam, explode out there, try to set up a couple of blockers. You know, we talk about coaching. Coaching has made a difference in his running talent.
Yeah, they spent a lot of time with him this week, and nobody was more frustrated about the performance in Arkansas last week than Ronald McClendon, who fumbled 2 kickoffs that resulted in 14 points. And he really wanted to prove today that he was a part of this team. The junior college transfer dancing his way to the outside, inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. Mark Brown and Carlos Dansby bring it down.
Boy, nothing going to the outside. Watch this. No one's out there, and he just sets them up in there. Now, use that speed to get to the outside. I thought he should have kept on going to the outside. I think with his speed, he could have made the corner and made more yards.
Second down and 7. They'll give him 3. Now, they can't pick up a first down if they get it inside the 1. High formation. McClendon again. He might be just a little tired. His legs might be giving out on him on this drive.
Well, they've done good on the edges with the run, and now that time they run up the middle.
Ole Miss has gone with the pass today, 284 yards. They've thrown it 45 times. Chris Collins over 100 yards receiving, and Eric Oliver out of his safety position leads the way with 7 tackles. But a big down here, 3rd and 7 from the 8. Spread formation. Here's Espy in motion. Manning Manning can run it, but he wanted to throw it, and is it picked off? It is. Travaris Robinson with the INT with a $1:32 to go in the game. It looked like Eli Manning could have run with the football. His 3rd interception of the day.
I cannot believe that he did not run that football. When he stepped up in the pocket, there was nobody in front of him. He had a chance for a first down. Watch his offensive lineman give him a hole. He steps up nicely. Right here, you see him think about it, and then all of a sudden it's, oh no, but look at this. There's nobody in front of him, right there. And he throws behind him. Freivogel was open for a second, but he threw behind him.
Now, Mark Brown, the linebacker, was there, but Manning could have definitely gotten it into the 5.
Wow, huge play.
Ole Miss has a couple of timeouts remaining with 1:32 to go in the game. They were at the 7-yard line to tie this game up. Man.
Well, you have to see it in the eyes of the quarterback. When he stepped up there, he's got such confidence in his arm. He thinks he can just throw through anything, and for David Cutcliffe, it's just got to be so disheartening.
Well, we can expect the Rebels to use a timeout here if Auburn doesn't pick up the first down. The clock has moved under a minute. Hand off to Ronnie Brown. And here comes the timeout. Oh boy, 44 seconds to go. It's been a good one in Oxford. Come back with us. We'll return after this. Eli Manning pondering what could have been. Jason Campbell hasn't been spectacular today, but you know, once again, just managed the game pretty well for this Auburn team. But a stop here by Ole Miss will force Auburn to punt it. And they'll have one last chance. But the first down will seal the victory for the Auburn Tigers. And Ronnie Brown adds to his totals. He has now carried the football 33 times for 219 yards.
And Davey gets to the hole so quickly that the defensive players can't even get off their blocks. He's got that acceleration into the hole.
Ole Miss calls a timeout with 38 ticks remaining in their season in terms of an SEC West race. We'll be back after this. Auburn looks like they'll pick up the victory on the road in Oxford. This game has turned out to be one of the quiet gems of the SEC schedule the past few years, and it's been a good one today. First down and 10, and Auburn will take a knee. And Tommy Tuberville picks up the win. The Tigers go to 6-3 and 4-2 in league play. Ole Miss falls to 5-4 and 2-3. It was an impressive display by Ronnie Brown, but gutsy comeback by Ole Miss when it looked horrible. They had a chance. They had it at the 7 with 1.5 minutes to go in the game and turned it over. We'll come back to Oxford after this.